There are so many misconceptions around content marketing and where to start. So it's one of the questions we get almost every week, Tasha. And today we're going to talk about the 4 or 5 biggest misconceptions that could absolutely kill your content marketing strategy. Tasha, thank you so much for joining us. It's the second time in a row. How are you finding this anyway?
It's out of my comfort zone, not going to lie. I mean, I'm so used to talking about HubSpot and only HubSpot, and I talk about it with so much confidence because of the experience. So this is, somewhat related, but slightly different topic. So yeah, it's a little bit, out there, but hey, I'm here and I'm glad that you're happy to have me.
We appreciate it. We really do. Tash is the other half of the HubSpot Mentors podcast, all things HubSpot, a dedicated podcast on HubSpot. So if you do want to know anything about it and you want to be a Master Pro user, then definitely check out her and Semi's podcast there. Now, we'll get straight into it. So I wanted to talk about, there's so much crap out there online, like Alex Hormozi's and the Gary V's. And I actually do love Alex Hormozi, but they put all this stuff out and they actually make it seem really easy. And we've been doing this for a really, really long time. Content has been the backbone of our business and we've learned a lot of things on the way. So we want to talk about some misconceptions to kind of temper some of the stuff we see out there.
Yeah.
And the first one is content is cheap. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing, right? Everyone talks about, just pull out your phone and, do this or do that. But the thing is when I say content is cheap, it's actually not. Even if you do it yourself, you're going to pay with time or money. And you have to make that investment. And I guess to make that investment, you have to understand what you're doing. First, you got to understand the power of it and how it can impact your business. And then you got to understand what you're doing. This includes research, strategy development, writing, editing, all of that stuff. So it's not cheap. And we can talk about in a minute, the investment we make in content. And we've definitely seen an ROI. But your thoughts around that, Tash?
I think it's often that's what people think. You're right. Whip out the phone, just start recording something and Bob's your uncle. But it's so much more than that. And we know for a fact. I mean, even reflecting back on my cousin's business, they're content machines now, but they do it themselves. They haven't quite hit that branch of being able to hire someone to do it for them. And whenever I connect with the boys, they're like, the time that it takes to get these podcasts.
And that's the part that's not cheap. It's the time.
It's the podcast edited and the videos put up there and the time they spend on, on their socials, getting the content up. And they've got a brand and a look and a feel. I mean, they've just bought a gym, actually. Super exciting for them. But it's not cheap. You either pay with time or money, just like Mob said.
Yeah. I met a couple of lawyers at this networking event last night. It's brother and sister duo who started a law firm. And really decent law firm. Even though they're a startup, they had a really good career. And they've opened up in this Sydney City and everything. And you can tell they know their stuff. But they're like, we just don't have the time. We just don't have the time. And they're a startup, so they can't pay. And I'm like, I don't really know what to tell you. You have to have, do less, right? Do less of it as opposed to, we got to be on Instagram. But why? Who told you have to be on Instagram? Is your audience there? And if you want to be on Instagram, then go on Instagram, but double down on it. And have that consistency and have that focus. We're going to focus on this channel. We're going to do something once or twice a week and then use VAs and AI is going to be your friend. I always sort of say, even at Red Pandas, right? Let's talk about content not being cheap. We've got a full-time Australian-based staff member who's been with Luca, who's been with us for, I think, 3 years now. 4 years. He's going to be upset if I get this wrong. Yeah. So we've got that investment. We've probably got 2 or 3 VAs. We obviously use our amazing friends at AM Visuals for videos as well. And then there's our time as well, right? So there's a fair bit. Now we see the ROI on it and we never do one thing unless we can turn it into other things.
Yep.
So if we're doing a podcast, chances are we've done a blog article on that already. Yep. Chances are I've done a LinkedIn post on it or you've done a LinkedIn post on it or both. And we've done we've done an email on it. It's not just an email sending the same podcast. It's purpose built for that. Yep. And that's taken us years to do. And even when I started, when I did the podcast by myself, I'd have to sit there, edit it. But I sort of like to say, if you really want to grow and you really want to be a thought leader, then focus on one key thing. And you need to make sure you do that come hell or high water.
Yeah.
And that's where you start. And then from there, you can start adding.
Yeah, remember that story you tell people about recording your podcast in some suite in Bali and the internet was really bad and you were in the bathtub? I wasn't there, but
yeah.
You've told me this story before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
You
right.
did it. You did that.
Yeah, you definitely went there. So like, and that's what I mean, right? I was paying with time.
Yeah.
So every week, and we were in Bali, I would not miss a week. I did not care. And I know it sounds like a psychopath, but you have to have these rules. Otherwise you're not going to do it. So for me, I was building the business, executing the business, doing everything but billing, and Soph was helping me with that. And I would do the podcast. I'm like, okay, cool. It's my, maybe 2 to 3 hour week investment per week that I'll split out, and I will do it. And that story was like, we were in like a bungalow or what are they called? A villa or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And by the time Soph went to bed and everything was done for the day, I still did it. And there was one spot in the whole villa that I could record, and it was in an outdoor bathtub.
There you go.
And there was like dogs howling in the background and spiders, but I just had to do it, Plus, we're from Australia. Bali spiders don't bother us. So anyway, so that's that. I think there's a few there. But the next one is, it's probably related, so we'll probably move off it quicker, is content creation is quick and easy. Your thoughts on this, Sasha? I know you've seen some of your friends and family members.
I think a lot of people believe that it can just be picked up and produced really quickly. I mean, if you've got a knack for, getting in front of a camera and talking and it comes easily to you, sure, you could probably create that content quickly, but we know the process that's involved in the editing after it, making it the right sizes and the frames and the formats for the different mediums. And then they generally think that just because I've pumped out a couple of quick TikToks or videos that they're going to get super quick results. Doesn't work like that. Like the time that we've taken in making sure that our videos for our podcast or our talking heads are the right size and they're optimized for the right platforms, like all those tiny little things, it takes time, expertise. We've got solid processes now, but I was involved in when we first launched the podcast, the 48 or 50 steps that were involved in getting it to go publish live. And that was just to get it live, not to start repurposing it like you were saying before. So it's sure, creating the content's quick and easy, but it's what happens after.
It's building blocks. It's like these little steps. And now stuff happens that, Tash, you and I really, quite frankly, don't even know what the team's doing with the content. It's going everywhere. Like, it could be on OnlyFans for all I know. No one will pay though. But so like, do you know what I mean? Like, it goes everywhere. So I think the two key things here, because it is not quick and it's not easy, you need to do something that is repeatable, like it's consistently repeatable and scalable. So for that, for example, I mean, like, people want to do these funny videos, right? They want to do these, let's jump on a trend. But like, how often are you going to do that? Like, unless you're going to be able to keep that up and do a trend every week and a dance or a song or whatever every week, you're just doing something, honestly, like, it's a bit of fun for a bit of internal culture and have a laugh. You're not going to get any business out of it, really. Because you'll do it once, you're not going to get anything out of it, or that was so much effort, it's never going to happen again. It's got to be consistent. So, for example, if you're a really busy lawyer, right, high-end city busy lawyer, and you don't really have time, well, maybe once a week on your drive to work, you could record yourself, right? Record like a commonly asked question and turn that into a podcast.
Yeah.
And you can do that because Monday mornings you go into the office and you've got a long drive, and you can do that. So it's repeatable.
Yeah, that's great advice.
And then from there, okay, cool. Now I've got this. I can post it. Now let me find a VA. Now let me turn it into a blog post. And the beautiful thing is, back when I started, there was no AI. Like, back when even though it's only a few years old, but back in those, everything was manual.
Yeah.
But now you can create one thing and then repurpose it
with a click of a button.
Yeah. 100%. Quality versus quantity. This one is something that it's a huge debate. And I think for the most part, everything that I've seen and all, like, I've been saying this and all the biggest creators say this, that it almost sounds like a contradiction. It almost sounds like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, because I will say the bar for quality now is a lot higher.
Yep.
Like my personal standard, I would never do a Zoom video podcast. Like, but that's because I did that like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So for me, like, it's important to have high production. I know who we're competing with. I know we're competing in the market. We've got a certain standard, but that's not to say you shouldn't do it. You've got to start somewhere. So, on that side, I'm talking quality. But having said that, the quantity breeds the quality. The quantity gives you the reps to fit. The thing that I love about TikTok, like when I was doing, 4 TikToks a day, and I don't really do it anymore, was I was quickly able to see in a week, I would have, it's like, forget the weekends, even though I still did it on the weekends, I'd have at least 20 to 30 pieces of content. And I knew very quickly what was working, and I doubled down into it.
Yeah.
And now I haven't done TikTok for years now. If I jump back, I don't know the algorithm anymore. I don't know what works and what pops. Like I'd have to like get back into it. So the quality, and I think it's the consistency too. That consistency will build the quality. I don't know your thoughts on that. What you've seen.
I mean, just like thinking of one client that pops out is Empire. That 2-3 years ago, we kind of started engaging on what type of content they should be creating on their HubSpot journey. That's how I know about them. And George, the founder or a managing practice manager, whatever he's called, has consistently posted on his, I think he started with videos, one-to-one type of videos, but he put them on his socials. Then he went to getting some more high production stuff done. And now I think maybe 3 months ago, he's only and this is, we've been like 3 years, he started this journey. Only about 3 months ago, he launched his podcast. And that's a case study of consistency and committing to one thing and doing it come hell or high water, whether they were those FAQ type of content. And yeah, I know for a fact that his organic traffic has increased something by like, I want to say like, I can't even read these numbers, but it's the hockey stick.
Like it's almost like an unbelievable
It's
number.
unbelievable.
Like it's just a crazy number.
It's crazy. And this is not paid. It's just his consistency to content.
And he, like, let's be honest, in the start, we love Empire Legal. Like in the start, it was pretty average, but like, look at it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even though it was pretty, like, even though it's pretty average compared to now, like at the time, it was still really good content. This comes back to the scalable too. Like we know people who are listening to this, you're time poor, you're busy. Like don't create a piece of content. Like, you know, what do they say? Like spread your bets, right? Like the reason why we do this is because we know we're going to get a blog post out of it. We know we're going to get snippets out of it. We know we're going to get the whole podcast out of it. And to be honest, some of these podcasts in sales calls, I will send. I'll say, hey, you know what? We spoke about this thing on websites, or, you know, we're talking about some of these misconceptions or problems. If I'm talking to a client and they mention one of these, I'm like, hey, you know what? You got to listen to this podcast.
Piece of content.
So the other big one, especially if you're forget B2B, both B2B and B2C. If you can create content and prioritize the content that you could send to prospects, you know it's not a waste of time.
Yeah.
Right? If someone's asking you something, send them that, whether you pick articles or blog posts or whatever you do, or snippets or shorts, do that. That's going to work.
Yeah, I like that.
Next one.
I mean, I feel like that's a nice segue into you need to be creating something new. That's a misconception. Oh, I don't have anything new to create. Everything's already been created. Like, that's not true.
Yeah, we've got to give credit to Jerome for this one. It's like, it's one of the things that, you know, customers say all the time. It's like, oh, it's already been done. But it's like, so here's the thing about creating people being scared, right? It's already been done. One, there's new people coming into the market all the time. Secondly, even if you've created it, you're getting better at it, right? The blog posts, the videos, you're getting better at it. So you're going to add a different flavor and spin, guaranteed. And thirdly, algorithms, Google, AI now, they place a substantial preference on new content. So it doesn't matter if someone else has done it or you did it before. Like you can always go back to that content, particularly if it performed really well and it's been a long time. It doesn't have to be something new. It doesn't have to be like, oh, you know, let's smoke cigars or drink wine and talk about our subject matter. You can keep it boring, plain Jane, videos, articles, blog posts. It doesn't have to be a new format or a new thing. Yeah.
I find this topic so interesting because it doesn't even, like, you need to create something new. It doesn't even cross my mind. Maybe because the type of content I create is HubSpot. So it's in the software space, and that software is always changing. So I never really run out of like ideas of things, and like the way you did something in HubSpot 2 years ago is very different to the way you do it now. So that kind of doesn't cross my mind. But from a sales point of view, I mean, like if you're in sales and you're creating content for the type of conversations or the questions that you're getting asked, there's a good chance that you don't know every single question that you could possibly get asked in sales. So there's always going to be, you don't know everything.
100%.
There's always something there to be created.
And if we could take our own medicine, right? If you remember back in the day, we had this video. It's so old, right? We should actually take our own medicine and create a new version of it. But we had what is a HubSpot video. HubSpot copied our idea and did their own version of that, right? And their version, because they're SaaS and a lot of big companies, we have such an advantage being a small company because that video, maybe they created better ones, but when they copied us, Theirs was so fluffy. It's like the consumer is changing. People are making decisions faster than ever. And these days, you know that whole like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
story? And people
yeah.
like people watching
They
like
still
just
don't
tell me
know.
what is HubSpot.
still
Like
don't
I
know
don't
what it
need
is.
this like TED talk about this preamble of marketing. What is it? What does it do? What is
Yeah.
a hub? Where ours was like boom, boom, boom. And
Yeah.
it did so well. It's probably still getting a little bit of trail visitors, but it did really, really well to the point where people started copying us. We need to redo that.
Yeah, we do.
So that's an example of like every so often, like we know more now. We're better at content now. And Google is probably not syndicating that old one anymore.
Yeah, great example.
And with old videos and blog posts, you can always redirect them. You can have a link, hey, updated
course.
version. Check out the new version, the 2025 version.
Nice.
The last one, to be honest, this one was humbling for me because if I knew this one, maybe if I knew this one 5 years ago, I feel like I could have saved so many years in growth in terms of this business.
What do you mean? If you had known?
If so, yeah, I'm speaking out in tongues here.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this one is content alone can sell your product. So if I had learned, so that's a misconception. If you build it, they will come. Build content, and that is an area of growth. It is an area of growth, but people think, okay, cool. I don't like sales, and I don't like to do outreach, and I don't like that type of work. I'm just going to build content. It's actually not true, and that's what I mean. Like if I had learned this lesson 5 years ago, Red Pandas would be a lot further ahead than it is today. Like I'm very happy with it, and we're doing great. But honestly, if I'd learned this years ago, we would have been in such a different place right now.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
So essentially, like, here's what I'm talking about, right? So historically, from day one, we've always been very good at content, really, really good at content. Our first sales rep hire we made 3 years ago, and that person was around for a couple of years, and he was awesome. And now we're making another hire soon. But we are almost over-indexed and over-focused on the marketing side, thinking if you build it, they will come. Whereas you actually need to focus on both sides. We see a lot of businesses who see marketing as a cost center, and they just hire sales reps.
Oh, I see what you're
Right?
getting. Okay, got you. Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. So there's two extremes, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like truth time, for the longest time, we were on the content and marketing extreme side.
Yeah, you're right. We
not
have been
on the
there.
sales side.
We don't need a salesperson. We don't need a salesperson.
Yeah, and now we've overcorrected it. Like, no, sorry,
Yeah.
not overcorrected. Now we've corrected a little bit. Like, and now we're investing more in sales. But you see these business, and there's more businesses that see marketing as a cost center than a profit center.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, we just need to hire salespeople and hit the phones and pound the phones. But they don't focus on marketing. They think it's a waste of time.
Yep.
Both those extremes are idiots.
Yep.
Both extremes are idiots. I was an idiot, and so are these businesses that treat marketing as a cost center. They're idiots too, because you're making your job so much harder.
Yeah, your job. Yeah, for sure.
So much harder
you kind
without
of picked
content.
up the slack, right? We were getting plenty of leads and sales, but I guess you've been the one you and a little bit of me for the last couple of years to do that.
And to be honest, that's
really interesting.
that's being reactive too, right? Like there's a sales rep's job, especially a hunter's job, is to be proactive.
Yeah.
Now we've got a database now, about 7,000 people. Someone has to be. It doesn't matter. There's so many people, for example, right, on our database that open up every single EDM, attend every single webinar. Someone would say, a naive person, and salespeople resonate with this, right? Someone would say, if they want you, they'll come. That's not true. You have to make the ask. Something I've learned really the hard way.
Yeah.
You have to make the ask. The same thing happens with reviews and referrals. People are like, if they like us, they'll review us, refer us.
No, you
That's
have to
not
make the
true.
ask. Yeah, I get it.
It's really not true. You have to say, hey, do you know someone who could benefit from something very similar to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And like, now that you say it, now do this. Like if you're listening to this, next time you have a really good customer interaction, say, by the way, if you rack your brain, can you think of one or two people who would benefit from the same thing that you benefited from?
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask that to 3 people and one person doesn't give you one name, I will change my first name. You 100% will. And then in your brain, you'll be like, why didn't they say anything earlier? Because they're busy. They're busy like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's happened to me so many times. Like a coach of ours who we still work with, Chris Ma, right? I've worked with him for a really long time and I never referred him because I'm going on in my day.
But of course you would refer him.
Of course I would, right? And then I did. And when he reached out, I go, hey, Moby, and he was really specific. Hey, do you know 3 people that could benefit from some of the work we've done together? similarly. And then I racked my brain, like, okay, do I know 3 people? And I gave him 3 people. And he got a customer out of one of those.
Nice.
Now, why didn't I say that before? Like, not because I'm an asshole. I've got
You
my
made
own
the
life.
ask.
I got
Yeah.
kids. I got like this. I got that. I'm not thinking about that. So you have to make the ask. And sorry for that long preamble, but or roundabout. But the whole point is like, content doesn't make the ask.
Yep.
Content's very reactive. Sales is proactive. But the businesses that truly scale, they're creating content and they have salespeople, they have outreach, they have personalization, and they're like feeding people in content and not just saying, hey, I'm following up.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I
but
love
yeah,
that.
on that note, Tash, anything from yourself before we
No,
wrap
it was
this up?
exciting. I'm glad I could contribute some to this topic, and thanks for having me again, Mobes.
Absolutely, Tash. More than you know. Thank you so much, and we'll join everyone again for another episode of Inbound Buzz.
Thanks for listening to Inbound Buzz. Learn anything? Return the favor by spreading the word. Want to make your mark in digital? Need help with your digital strategy, inbound, and marketing automation efforts? Then visit redpandas.com.au and be sure to tune in next time for another Inbound Buzz hit.